If all went well in the last section, you have Blender installed on your system now. There's a shortcut on your desktop and there's a shortcut in your taskbar, and click on either one of those to open up Blender. Click next to the splash screen and have a look at the viewport. And maybe you already noticed, but in the bottom of the screen you can see which keys I'm hitting, and when I hit the left mouse button you get a red circle in the white circle you see here, and when I hit the right mouse button you'll see a blue circle. For this lecture I recommend you pick up your mouse and do the same as I do, so you can get a feel of how to navigate in Blender. To move the cursor, indicated by this symbol here, click anywhere with Shift right mouse button on the screen. I'll explain in a later section what this cursor does. To select objects in Blender, click on them with the left mouse button. For example, to select this camera, hover over it and click with the left mouse button to select. If you want to select this lamp, hover, left click, select. And if you want to add to the selection, shift click to a second object. So now we have selected the cube and the lamp, as you can see. If you want to select a third object as well, shift click to add the object to the selection. And when you shift and click again, you can deselect that object or remove it from the selection. The latest object selected, or the active object, is always a bright orange. So when you shift click on the cube here, as you can see, the outline is now a bright orange. And same goes for the lamp. Shift left mouse click. To zoom the view, you use the middle mouse button. If you have a scroll wheel, you scroll up or down to zoom in and out. And if you don't have a scroll wheel, hold the middle mouse button with Ctrl pressed and then move the mouse around to zoom in and out. To pan around, hold Shift together with the middle mouse button and then move your mouse around to pan around freely. Click on the middle mouse button and move around to rotate around the view. And you can rotate, pan and zoom also by using these widgets here. So click on these widgets and drag to rotate around. And use this magnifier to zoom in and zoom out. Use the little hand to pan around. And make sure you don't drag out of the viewport, because then this will happen. At least in this version of Blender. Maybe in later versions you won't have this. So when you have something like this, and if you have anything selected, just hit the period on your numpad. And then you will go back to a selected object. If that doesn't work, just go to File and New and make a new project so you can start over again. The next widget here is a camera. If you click on it, you see the camera view. This is the view you get when you render an object. That's something we will do in later lectures. If you want to go out of camera view, just click somewhere on screen and drag around with the middle mouse button and you'll get out of camera view. And the last one is for orthographic and perspective view. Same as you hit numpad 5, but that's something for later. We have some more functions for the widgets over here with the axis. Click X once for right orthographic view, and then click X again for left orthographic view. Left orthographic view. If you click on Y, you go to, in this case, back orthographic view, and then on Y again, and you're in front orthographic view. Click on Z and you're on the top orthographic view, and click on Z again and you're on the bottom orthographic view. Click on 1 to go to front view. These manipulators are very helpful when you're using a pen tablet, because mostly you have the keyboard not at hand then, so you can just click on the screen and navigate that way. Now you've learned how to move around in Blender with the widgets and with the mouse, but there are even more ways to move around. That's by using the numpad. So let me explain that to you now. To go to front view, click on 1 on your numpad. So as you can see here, we are in front orthographic. Hit Ctrl 1 to go to the back view. Back orthographic. Hit numpad 3 to go to the right view. Hit Ctrl numpad 3 to go to the left view. Hit numpad 7 to go to top view. And hit Ctrl numpad 7 to go to the bottom view. Hit 1 again to go to the front view. To rotate around the x-axis down, hit 2. To rotate around the x-axis up, hit 8. To pan up, hit Ctrl 2. To pan down, hit Ctrl 8. To pan right, hit Ctrl numpad 4. To pan left, hit Ctrl numpad 6. To rotate around the up axis or Z axis negative, hit 4. To rotate around the Z axis positive, hit 6. And as you can see, we are now in perspective view. And perspective view means that all the lines are more or less like they are in real life. So, for example, if you look here, these lines don't run parallel. But if you go to orthographic view, as you can see, it's very strange, but the lines here are now parallel. And you'll learn in the future that this will sometimes help you when modeling, so you get a better idea of what your model looks like. And user here means that you have not chosen a side, rear, or front view or something, but the view is something you got by panning or moving around. The last thing I want to explain is when you have something selected and you want to have it in view, so you have to focus on it, you can hit the period on your numpad, and then the view will be focused on the object. As you can see, I hit period, and it will focus on the object. And that brings us to the end of this lecture. I'll see you in the next one, where we will be focusing on the basics of modeling. Bye bye!